So in the first part, we have created the most complicated part of the animation. Time to finalize our animation. So turn on other parts of this logo, and we will also need this and left layer. Now we will work on these individual layers first. So let's take rectangle tool and set it to mask instead of creating a new shape, and create a mask over this rectangle. Go inside of the mask properties, add a keyframe to the mask path, and after 5 frames, add one more keyframe. And on the first keyframe, let's bring top points towards bottom. It will animate like this. Let's do same with the middle one. And notice, we don't have to draw mask in this direction, that is covering shape in tilt view. We will create simple mask like this, and it will just work fine. Just create animation within 5 frames, same as before. That's good. Animate right one. But this animation duration will be little more than 5 frames. So initials are done, but at the beginning, this should not be visible. Don't worry, we will handle it later on. But next task is to disappear what we have created right now. And this will start from 2-second earth frame. But before that, let's solve this middle lines scale problem. So just pre-compose this layer. It will shrink. So go to the first frame where everything is in starting point, parent it with comp2 layer. Now there will not be any problem. Yes, there will be some blurriness, but don't worry. Before anyone notices it, it will disappear. However, you can turn on this collapse transformation to avoid blurriness. But again, same problem will start to persist. This is we don't want. Also in normal position, there is nothing to observe. So let's move further. From 1-second 20th frame, next animation will start. Let's duplicate and right layer, trim it from the beginning. I am separating both layers because we have to make changes in mask properties. Now, open mask properties of the upper layer, select mask path, and let's make it pretty big on the bottom side. This is because we will use 50 points mask feather on the y-axis only. Now animate mask path just like before, but in opposite direction. And take time reference from the original work or from this tutorial. So it will animate like this, but this is not that simple. Let's duplicate this layer and add an effect to it, that is block dissolve under transition menu. Let me show you what it will do. Set completion value to 50, leave width to 1, and set height to 700. Nothing will show up until you turn off this bottom layer. You see this? This is what we want. Let's animate it. Set a keyframe to transition completion, set it to 0, go to 2-second, second frame, and set completion value to 95%. Now if you will check, it will animate like this. Let's do it with middle shape as well. Just like before, split it into 2 parts. But since here we hadn't applied any effect on this pre-composition, so let's go into it. And here we will have to divide layer into 2 parts from where animation will begin. On the upper layer, let's first animate mask path just like we did it before. And also don't forget to add 50 points feather only on y-axis. It's done. Now duplicate this layer and add block dissolve effect on it. And here one important thing. If I will change effect values, you see lines are not following the transformation rule. To solve it, let's put this layer above to the transform effect. And now it will be good to go. Again, animate completion value of the effect from 0 to 90 in just 5 frames. Animation is pretty fast for this shape. Come back to the main composition. Well, here I broke the layer into two parts without any reason, I think. You can avoid such mistakes or unnecessary moves. Well, one thing I forgot. Let's go inside of and middle composition. And on this upper layer, we will have to use drop shadow effect. Open its settings, set opacity to 60, distance to 10, spread to 15, and size to 10. Nothing will show up because of the black background. So let's create a white solid. Put it below to all layers and it will be visible. Just change rotation a little bit so that shadow will appear on both sides. And this part, it will not make any impact as it will get merged with the black background. So let's see it in effect in the main composition. But before leaving, just copy this layer style and paste it on this layer as well so that it will be visible from the start point. Come back to the main composition. Turn off the white solid layer. So if you see it in the beginning, there will be nice shadow on both sides, but it also creates problem in animation. Let me show you. Here you will get black spot. To manage it, go inside of the composition again, and we will have to animate drop shadow opacity too. Animate it from 100 to 0, and it will not create problem anymore. Well, next task. In the same way, we will animate this line. This animation will start from 1 second 20th frame. Apply block dissolve effect on it. Add a keyframe to transition completion. Put playhead to 2 second 20th frame and set completion value to 100. Now it will animate something like this. Pretty interesting, right? Last thing we have to solve. These color lines shouldn't be visible in the beginning. So for it, you can just trim this layer, or in order to avoid any mistake, you can go to 1 second 20th frame, that is from where transition of N left layer starts taking place. Set a keyframe to its opacity parameter. And just 1 frame before, set it to 0. It will solve our problem. Perfect. So this is it, guys. I hope you like it. Feel free to ask questions in comment section below, and don't forget to subscribe my channel to get more about motion graphics, color grading, and video effects.